Hello! We're gonna stop that right away. It's been a minute, but we're here. I think we have one trainer, maybe two. I think it's just one actually. But yeah, it's been a minute. I'm sorry about that, but life. So, this time we're gonna be hitting the rest of these trainers. We have this one, and I think this is it actually. That's kind of weird too. But we also have a couple of trainers on a upcoming route. And there's the strongest poison move. And of course, why the fuck would it not? So this time we're going to be hitting Safari Zone proper. And I'm just going to leave it on the Switch. But we're going to... Let's go Gengar. We're going to be hitting it. Probably just go for the Surf HM this time. And usually what I do with the Safari Zone is I rush straight for the Gold Teeth and the Surf HM. Gold Teeth, we'll find out later. I just almost died. Pretty sure. Unconfirmed, but that guy does not care. So this is the end of Cyclone Road. This is annoying, but Lapras has a lot of health actually. We're gonna skip everything and go heal. Now Fuchsia's laid out a little weird, so if you don't know, this is how you get to a Pokemon Center. It's actually the only way. So there's a couple trainers we passed. We're gonna go fight them. But the Safari Zone, what there is there's 4 sections of it. You get 500 steps. You can explore. There's some really rare Pokemon in there, and there's some really competitively viable, I think is the word. Like, they're good in competitive play, but they're kind of terrible in game, and I'll get to why once I get to the Safari Zone. But you start out in the center area, and then you can head to area 2 and 1 from that area. 2 is a little and then 1 is over to the right, and then area 3 is kind of like off to the side. It's the hidden one. It's where you're supposed to get surfed. There's a promotion going on in the game where if you find the secret house you get surfed, which this is where a lot of people get stuck in the game that I knew growing up, and that wow, mirror move. I guess I'll explain that mirror move copies the last move used while it's been on the field. I don't think Spearow is supposed to know it at that level. I thought it was a little higher, but I could be wrong. So it's really nice to see Lapras actually pull its own here. Right one, we're gonna ditch it for a new one. No. But there's some, I guess I could start talking about some rare Pokemon we've seen before in Safari Zone. So if you remember in the game corner, there were Scyther and Pinsir. Well, those are now available in the Safari Zone, I believe in area 1 and 2. If not, then it's 1 and 3. I get confused, but same version exclusives last time. Scyther Red, Pinsir Blue. Scyther's a little better in my opinion, but they're both pretty bad. Mirror move again. And there's also Dratini when you fish. So if you weren't willing to save up, you can now, in quote, catch one for the measly cost of 500 if you're lucky enough. But there's also a bunch of water fodder we've seen before. We have Krabbies in there, Psyducks, Slowpokes in there. Stuff like that is rampant throughout the Safari Zone. Getting quite a bit of levels now. Now that we can keep it out and actually fight, it's really coming together. Raticate. I think I'm just gonna body. That is a high level Raticate. I guess I'll start talking about. I'm just gonna ice beam this. I'm going to start talking about a couple Pokemon in the Safari Zone that are great competitively. If you were to use them, they fulfill a role that some can't, and some of them are flat out beasts. And I'll go into detail more on them, but you have Execute, Rhyhorn, Chansey, Kangaskhan, and Tauros. Those are the 5 main ones there. There's also Venonat is available, but that hurt. Holy shit, that hurt. But Venonat's also available, but it's not very competitive. It's decent in game, but at this point you should have a poison type. So I'll talk about it more. But those 5 I mentioned, besides Venonat, they're some of the staples of the metagame for Red, Blue, and Yellow. And for good reason. Execute is one of the best sleepers because of its psychic subtype. Or Executor, sorry. Has decent special sleep powder. It packs explosion. It's all around a good Pokemon in competitive standpoint. But the problem in game is that it needs access to a lot of just... It's more my Lapras, except even worse, because you have to use the Psychic TM on it. And it's just, in general, not a good use of your time. Venusaur is better for in-game. Victory Bell, Vileplume, they're all better in my opinion. The only one I could say it's better than is probably Tangela. I'm gonna need cut. But now that we're actually gonna enter the Safari Zone proper, we're actually just gonna go straight there, and I might have to stop this because it's actually quite a long way. So I'm gonna bolt straight for Surf because I really just want to get it. I should have checked if I had enough room for Gold Teeth and Surf, but anyway, we passed the center area. This is now Area 1. But there are a couple like trick spots in the game to like make you waste steps so you don't get there in time. And there's a lot of items around, and I'm not going to be catching this because I hate Parasect, and I'm wasting my money because I'll have plenty of tries to catch later. So don't worry, I'll be back for all these items once we fully explore it. Because there is a team member here, and Execute right on time, so I'm going to explain what it can do in game. It can't do anything. It doesn't learn a viable grass move besides Sleep Powder, and that's just because it puts opponents to sleep. Now this is where there's a beginner's trap right here. Don't go up that way, you get to an empty little space. There's Rhyhorn, I'll talk about after Execute. Execute can learn Psychic, and to be honest, it has some useful resistances. And you're not going to find a bug type move besides Twin Needle that's scary. So, and even then, I don't think there's a Beedrill for a long time, or at least... hold on. No, you go up and around. That leads back to another area. That, I think it's actually Area 3. That is a potion, I think. How many steps do I have? Oh, I have plenty. But, so, I've explained Execute. I'm not going to trash on it too much. But in-game, no. Competitive, I love it. It's fun to use. It's kind of like, the next one, Rhyhorn. This is, if you didn't pick up a Golem and you regret, this is your next step. I'm going to talk about this in a minute, but hold on. Please find the Safari Warden's lost gold teeth. They're around here somewhere. Reward offered. Really? Really? We'll pick that up just so we don't have to come back this way. Hold on. I thought there was a revive it somewhere. Okay, hold on. I knew there was one. But, Rhyhorn. Ground rock type. evolves into Rhydon. It is devastating, and it's one of the two things keeping Zapdos, sorry, from, there's the HM for Surf, by the way. So we're gonna go use up our time, I guess. But it's the one thing that keeps the threatening Zapdos, I keep trying to call it Zapdos, I guess, but Zapdos from owning the metagame. It's one of the two things that hardcore stops it. And it's very valuable. It hits hard. It stops a lot of threats in its tracks. Let's see what we can do here. Hold on. See what we can do. And it's very valuable. Oh, come on. You should totally just go inside this Safari Ball. Like, right now. Right now. Yeah, thanks. And the next Pokemon I'll end up talking about, actually next time, I'm just gonna waste out the little walking animation and get back to the front desk, because I kind of want to leave the exploration and the explanation of the rest of these guys for later, so I have something to talk about. There's 3 of them, so it's not gonna be that bad. And I kind of wasted this money, but who the fuck cares? Did you have a good haul? No, I didn't. But I did get an HM, which I will use right now. And this is going to be great. This is another stab for Lapras. This is putting a standard on it that, not standard, but a nice move set where I'm actually close to putting rest on it, probably around 35. So yeah, next time we'll be probably heading the rest of the Safari Zone into Death, catching our last team member, most likely, hopefully. It depends how long it takes to explore. And we'll be hitting Route 12 after that. So, till then.